But has anybody had that thought that comes in your head which says, don't mess this up? We lose in this country £117.9 billion, which is 5% of UK GDP, due to poor mental health. I went on this spiritual path, and I went on this spiritual path because in 2016, I was serving as a police officer, so I did what everybody tells you to do. Tell somebody, go and talk about it. It's good to talk. Not if you're a police officer, it's not. Because all of a sudden, now I had a mental health label on my back that said, can he do his job? So I did what all good men do, which is I buried it inside and didn't let anybody in, and I carried on. And 2 years later, I was going to kill myself. Do you know, it's really interesting, isn't it? When, I don't know if any of you have had to public speak before or you've had to do anything, but has anybody had that thought that comes in your head which says, don't mess this up, or will there be anybody there who's going to turn up? You know, you have that narrative going around in your head that you can't get out of, right? And it's kind of, where is that coming from? And then all of these feelings start to come up in your body and you don't know what you're doing. So my name is Marcus Matthews. I'm an advanced clinical hypnotherapist. I'm a clinical hypnotherapy supervisor, and I'm also a mind mentor. You've probably not heard of what a mind mentor is because I made it up about 6 months ago to try and explain what I do. So my mission and my aim is to completely disrupt the mental health system because it's broken. So if we look at that just purely from financial terms, I've just spent 2 days in Excel. So I did a bit of research, and when it comes to business, so money makes the world go round, right? Money's energy. And so when we look at the impact of just businesses, and businesses have got people in them, and people are part of communities, pretty much on average, we lose in this country £117.9 billion, which is 5% of UK GDP, due to poor mental health. According to the NHS's own statistics, if you go through your GP and you go for talking therapy, not that I'm against talking therapy, by the way, I'm not here to bash any therapies, but the success rate, well, it's not even a success rate, I think the wording they use on the NHS website is people see a recovery or some change is 49.9%. Now, to put that into context, I want you to imagine you break your leg and you go to your GP and you go, I've broken my leg, and you walk in because you've broken your leg like this because you can't walk properly. And your GP turns around to you and says, hey, well, what we'll do is we'll give you some drugs for the pain, aka sertraline, which we spend around about £25 million in the NHS on, just on that one drug. And then come in every week and let's have a chat about your broken leg. Don't worry, you've got another leg. You can just hobble for the rest of your life. And what we'll do is we'll help you cope and manage. Now, I'm not saying that to run down the NHS. I'm saying it because that is a fact of the system that we presently have. So my big thing is not about saying that what I do is any better than anybody else, because it isn't. What I'm passionate about is making sure people have informed consent in regards to what's available. So I'm also a Reiki master, not that I do Reiki anymore, but I've been on this whole kind of journey of discovering what happened. And through that, I've been really, really fortunate to work with some pretty amazing people. I work with celebrities, one of which is Kerry Katona. So I think most people know, if they know Kerry Katona, she's had her battles with her mental health. I was also coached with an organisation called Mind Valley. And 2 years ago, we took 120 C-suite executives, and I'm talking millionaires, billionaires, through 12 years of transformation in 12 months. And for me, that was an amazing experience because I started to understand what makes the difference between people who have good mental health, have good lives, and those that don't. And so that was part of my 4 pillars. And so my first pillar is what we need. Now, I'm going to pause there because I want you to be aware of something that you're probably not aware of. As I speak, I want you to be aware of how you feel and the narrative that's in your head. It might be, yes, I get that, I'm on board, I understand that. Or it might be, where's he going with this? Who is this idiot? I don't like him anymore. Okay, whatever that narrative is, I want you to notice the story that you tell yourself. So this is why I called my talk, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because we don't know the answer to that, do we? What came first, the chicken or the egg? I believe it's the egg, but it doesn't really matter. But if we shift that from a mental health perspective, what came first, the thought or the feeling? So when we look at a lot of the incentives that are out there, they're generally talking therapies. So even in hypnosis, with some of the work that I do around root cause, I'll use techniques in psychotherapy, NLP, CBT, but under hypnosis. But what I started to realize was that was the gateway. And the thing that drives behavior is not the thought or the story we tell ourselves, but the feeling. Because if you think about it or feel about it, I don't think anxious, I feel it. I don't think happy, I feel it. And so I kind of put this hypothesis out there, which was, we're actually just a virus. As humans, we're just a virus. Because when you put it down to the very simple reason why we're here, it's just to have sex and keep the species going. So if that's true, why would we invent something or create something within our minds and in our bodies that's bad? But we're told anxiety is bad. We're told that these feelings are bad and we should move away from them. And what I started to realize is that all of these words and all of these things that we're told inform our reality. And so what we tend to do is we tend to say, I want this. This is what I want. So we look outside for other people to give us the answers. But actually, if you think about those words, just close your eyes. Just close your eyes. And I just want you to say the word in your head, want. And just notice how it feels, that word want. And then say the word need and see how that feels. Which feels stronger? Is it want or need? Which kind of has more of a pull? So just put your hands up. Who thought want was a more powerful word? Who thought need was a more powerful word, right? It's just a word. So think about how many words you say to yourself every single day. I'm not good enough. I'm different. So here's another one. Anybody else say that? I'm not good enough. Anybody know who's going to admit to it? I do. I say it all the time, right? Yeah, thank you for your honesty. So watch this. Let's think of something. Anybody got a challenge or a fear, something that they don't like? Say, has anybody got anything like that, or you've all done your healing and you've got no more work to do? Right? Okay, that's right. Okay, at least we're on the right. What I want you to do is, let's use the word anxiety, right? Because the word anxiousness, anxiety, we all go through it. It's a natural state, okay? So just try this. Again, just close your eyes. And the reason why I want you to close your eyes is because I want you to feel how it resonates in your body. So I want you just to say, I am anxious. You might not be, but I'm just saying, just say the word, I am anxious. And maybe think of something that makes you anxious. It might be something like Marmite. You don't like Marmite. The fear of eating Marmite just turns your stomach. So it doesn't have to be anything big. And then I want you to change the word I to the. The. Okay, so I, whatever it is, and the, whatever it is. And I want you to notice something, that when we use the word I, it becomes us. When we use the word the, We become the observer of that experience. So just open your eyes. And so what I started to find was that there are four things that come through that people are successful with. And it's the first thing is they go for what they need, not what they want. Because the vibrational resonance in your body just kind of, it directs you slightly different. The second thing, which is the hardest thing, is the why. Why do I want that? So I always use this analogy. I want an Aston Martin DB12. I need an Aston Martin DB12. Now, for me, I would need an Aston Martin DB12 because it's gamified. I don't really need it, but I'd want it because it'd show that I've managed to get some sort of success that I could afford that car. But actually, the reason for wanting that car is nothing to do with that's fine. I should have done a dance while it was going on. So the reason why I want that car is not actually for any ego perspective. It's just that I've actually driven an Aston Martin around a racetrack and it was very exhilarating and it made me feel amazing. So the first thing is what you need. The second thing is why you want it. And so the first one is a thought. So what we want or what we need is normally a thought, but the why is the feeling. It's the emotion that drives the behavior. But the reason why we can't get what we want or what we need is because normally because we don't know why we want it. But the thing that stops us is our values and our boundaries. We're really bad at boundaries. Any empaths in the room? Yeah, right? You're basically just Duracell batteries that people plug into, right? But the fourth one was the critical one, and the critical one was environment. And we tend to want to escape. Anybody meditate? You have a stressful day. You want to get out of your body. You're like that Zen place where you go, I just want to disappear. And so actually creating the environment in the mind and the body is really, really important. It's the foundation. So the work that I tend to do is if you want to build a house of abundance, you need to find the root cause to why life is subsiding. So that's a lot of the work that I do with my clients. So I went on this spiritual path, and I went on this spiritual path because in 2016, I was serving as a police officer and I got assaulted. I was single crewed. My backup was about 20 minutes away, and it was a very routine job. It was nothing. I won, by the way. I'd just like to say I did win the fight. But out of the back of that, my mental health just started to go downhill, and it didn't make any sense to me. So I did what everybody tells you to do. Tell somebody, go and talk about it. It's good to talk. Not if you're a police officer, it's not. Because all of a sudden, now I had a mental health label on my back that said, can he do his job? So I did what all good men do, which is I buried it inside and didn't let anybody in, and I carried on. And 2 years later, I was going to kill myself. And I got sectioned. I ended up in the Royal Shrewsbury Hospital, and then I entered the mental health system, which, as somebody who's dealt with a lot of suicides, I've picked a lot of bodies up from train tracks. I've dealt with, I now realise that my old job was not normal. And so I went to my GP, and my GP said, well, we can give you some drugs to, calm things down. We can give you some counselling. It's going to be about 12 months to 18 months to see a psychotherapist. Anybody know this story? Does anybody mind if I swear? Because I was in a bit of a poor state. So this is what I actually said to my GP, is I said, I don't want drugs. I don't want to talk about it. I want to know what the fuck I feel the way I do. Makes no sense. Logically, I've got a job that I love. I wanted to be a copper since I was 5. I've got an amazing wife. I've got an amazing family. I've got an amazing home. On paper, everything is perfect. Why do I want to kill myself? This makes no sense whatsoever. So I started on this journey of trying to understand that why. Felt abandoned, felt lonely. I won't tell you my God moment, but this is what I actually found out. When I was 6 years old, I was on holiday with my brother, my mum, and my dad. And my brother threw a frisbee into the water, into the sea. So I was 6, I could swim. So I wander over, I pick the frisbee up, I turn around. As I turn around, a wave hits me from the back. I go underneath. And my brother and my dad come in, pull me out. And being from the Northwest, they then both took the mickey out of me and thought it was funny. My mum, being very matriarchal, stormed down the beach, told them off, took me up to where she was, wrapped a towel around me. And that was it. Could have happened to any of us, right? Probably has. Here's what my subconscious mind did. Your mind is there for one job, and that's to keep you safe, and that's all. And in that moment, my mind did this. At the moment that you were most vulnerable, the people that you were relying on weren't there to help you. And so when I was in that situation, and what I needed at that moment wasn't given to me, my mind went, the people who are supposed to look after you didn't. And because this had been a repeated pattern of behavior that had gone into my subconscious mind, I wasn't even aware of it. But here's the thing. Has anybody heard of Einstein's theory of general relativity? I'm going to prove this with physics. You've heard of it, right? Okay, so Einstein says in his general theory that the bigger the mass of the object, the more it experiences time. So if I was to walk now, you could time how long it takes to get from here to get to Caroline, right, and back. We could time that. Everybody agree? That's physics, that's true, that's science. So anybody here can tell me the mass of your mind. Does anybody know what the mass of your mind is? No? Okay, good. It doesn't have any. It's just pure energy. But wait a minute, then if the mind doesn't have any mass, then it doesn't experience time. So if it doesn't experience time, what actually happened was that in that moment that I had that breakdown, my ego mind and my protector mind turned around and went, you're 6 years old, there's no way that you're going to be able to deal with this, I'm going to shut everything down. It did a great job. But what the world wanted to tell me was there's something wrong with you, you've got PTSD, we need to drug you up and we need, you're a victim. Go over here, join the victim. We're all the broken people over here, and I wasn't gonna accept that. So I went on this kind of journey, and I went into all of this spirituality, and I started to look at chakras, and I did Reiki, and it was great. But there was something missing. And what happened was it was actually Ben Calder who's in there, and I did a Qigong retreat with him and his brother Sai. And Sai was like Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda. I don't know if anybody's seen that. So yeah, right. So I'd done Reiki. I've been playing around with energy and connected to the universe and all that sort of stuff. And so we're doing this practice, and we're supposed to be doing this thing where it's electric magnetic, and we're doing it. And anyway, so me being me starts doing this. I'm like playing around with this energy. And Sai comes up to me, I've got my eyes closed, and he's like, no. Literally slapped my hand. If anybody knows Sai Calder, you'll know that he will do things like that. So I went back into it. And what happened in that moment working with Sai is that my mind integrated with my body. And something really weird happened. I started to notice the narrative in my mind created vibrational waves in my body. Okay, so I want to test something, because I always test these two words. Does anybody believe that having a positive mindset is important? Just put your hand up if you believe that it's a positive mindset. Rubbish, I hate the word. It makes me want to throw up. Okay, so I want to test something to see whether the word positive mindset and the word I'm going to tell you which is more powerful. Okay? So just close your eyes. So I want just feel that word, positive mindset. And please don't, I'm not hypnotizing you to think that there's something wrong with it. It's just because I know what I know. So just feel it, positive mindset. And what you want you to do is go into your body and notice where you feel it in your body. Observe it, be the observer of that feeling. And I'm going to give you another word, and I want you to say this word. And I want you to see how that energy changes. So the word I want you to say to yourself now is focus. And just flip between the two. Positive mindset, focus. Positive mindset, focus. And just see how that shifts, that word shifts. Okay, open your eyes. Now, who thought that the word positive mindset felt more powerful? Focus. Okay. But everybody tells you, have a positive mindset. Be grateful. Yeah? Has anybody had that phrase where they go, you just need to do daily affirmations. I am good enough. I am rich. I am abundant. And your mind's going, fuck you are. Right? Excuse my French. It's true though, isn't it? It's true. And so the words that we tell ourselves are really, really important. And that vibration is really, really important. So I want to give you a tool. Has anybody, you don't have to tell me, but has anybody got a challenge in their life at the moment? And anybody who hasn't is either a psychopath or a narcissist. So make your choice. whether you feel you have a problem. We all have challenges, right? And so another word that a lot of people say is happy. I want to be happy. How many people want to be happy?
Well, I don't know.
But who wants to be fulfilled? We can't be happy all the time. It's impossible, right? There's a great book by Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God. I don't know if anybody's read that book. And he asked that question, God, why did, if everything's supposed to be blissed out, why did you create war? Why did you create this? And God says, how can you know love if you haven't known loss? It's like, how can you know peace if you haven't known chaos? And so what I learned was that leaning into that darkness is actually the way to let go. And through the work that I've done with clients, I came up with this little method. And it works really, really well. I actually had a lady at Excel who suffered from fibromyalgia, and she had pain in her leg. So I just tried this little technique, and she messaged me today and said, I still haven't got any pain in my leg. I don't know what you did, but it's gone. So I'm going to try this. And so you can pass this on to anybody. And if you scan this QR code at the end, there's actually a free webinar training that I do on teaching you how to do this. So give it to your friends and family. It's completely free. So just close your eyes now. Just everybody close your eyes. And I just want you to come up with a challenge, okay? It's your own personal journey. It might be, I haven't got enough money. It might be, I'm having problems communicating in a relationship. It might be, I just don't feel good enough. It might be, I really want to get out of this room, but he's not going to let me. Whatever it is, okay. Just feel that feeling of discomfort. So the first thing I want you to do is just say in your mind, I'm going to give myself permission to feel this feeling, okay? With no judgment, no shame, no guilt, no validation, no label. Just allow yourself to feel it. I want you to connect with that feeling. And if you can, what's the shape of that feeling? How big is it? What color is it? Just allow yourself to go internally and connect with that feeling. And I just want you to say these words in your mind to that part of you that's holding that story and that feeling. I want you to say, I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. And then just notice if that feeling shifts or changes. We're going to do it again. I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. And now I want you to say this sentence and just see what the first thing that comes up into your mind is. Just to say, what I need right now is. And what comes up? It might be something simple like a hug. It might be something as simple as giving yourself permission just to know that you're okay. So let's do it again. I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. And what I need right now is, and see what that is. So whatever it is that you need, even if it seems impossible, I want you to imagine that whatever that problem is, it's been resolved. It's completely fixed, okay? This is your time to dream. Make it up. So if what you need is to have blue bunny rabbit ears coming out of your shoulders, do that, right? It's up to you, just dream. But I want you to do this. I want you to say, wouldn't it be nice if? And just notice that, wouldn't it be nice if that problem wasn't there, that challenge wasn't there? How would you feel if that challenge had gone? So just give yourself permission to dream. Wow. You know, if that didn't happen and this is what life would be like, oh my goodness, this is how I would feel. And just sit with that. And just notice that feeling. So let's do it from the beginning again. Look at that feeling, that challenge, and just say, I'm completely safe. My mind and my body are just trying to help me, and that's okay. And what I need right now is this thing. And wouldn't it be nice if I had that now? Wow, what would that feel like? And allow yourself just to feel that feeling. What I want you to do now is I want you to strip the story away and just focus on that feeling. And whenever you feel that you've got that challenge, whenever you feel that life gets on top of you, I want you to know that that feeling is always available to you. Because remember, the mind goes towards what you focus on. So if you want to bring in peace, love, and purpose, you don't need to focus on the story. You just need to focus on the feeling. Because that will create a vibrational frequency that will go out from you to other people. Because the secret that you are looking for doesn't reside outside of you. It resides inside of you. So just open your eyes. I just want you to see how truly powerful you are when you understand that the story you tell yourself is not the thing that drives behavior, it's the feeling that you feel. So I hope that was useful. I've got a webinar that I do for about 46 minutes, and it will introduce you to who you really, really are. And I take what I've just done today to the next level. I've had a lot of people that have watched that webinar and stuff has come up and they've released physical pain, they've released all sorts of stuff. And I want to just tell you very quickly where that all came from. So just before I was going to kill myself, I was on holiday in Italy. And 3-4 years later after that incident, because it was after COVID, I was on the same beach with my son playing football and I got this kind of panic attack. And we went back to the hotel room and my wife said, "Are you okay?" But I've been doing the work, right? So I knew to lean into it. And I sat and did this technique, and what came through was the 4 thieves of happiness. And the 4 thieves of happiness are judgment, shame, guilt, and validation. And so once you know they come in and they're just trying to protect you, and you strip them away and just allow yourself to sit with the feeling and just give yourself permission, knowing that you're safe, you'll find that these difficulties that we often have in life will just pass through and they'll allow you to let them go. So that's what that webinar is about. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. And I hope that was useful. And if you've got any questions, then please ask.